Hello and welcome back. This is Capital City Carolers with your president, Shayna Parker. You are now listening to the Christmas Carolers Conversation. So, we have been doing some great conversation, offering up content that really allows our hearers to explore their minds and their hearts just about the various things and reasons as to what keeps the family unit enstrained and forgiveness being such a difficult topic. So, for today's topic, we're going to cover something I think unique, and it is how could you even ask? Realize that some questions are just downright offensive and can start different arguments and distances in the family unit. And just as a reminder, when we're talking about the family unit for the sake of this season, we're really trying to put focus on the natural family structures where there is so much distance, there's so much pain, and people are trying to navigate through all of that through the holiday season, in some cases hoping that that pain will just disappear, and in other cases really just trying to avoid it at large. But we're talking today about how could you even ask. I want to start there because I think that that's something worth exploring, for a couple of reasons. One, if questions are never asked, they can never really be answered. They can only be speculated. And that gets very deep because some questions asked do imply deeper issues within the person asking. It also reveals how the person asking sees the person that they are asking. And I think this is big because it can be offense that brews by way of if I ask you a question. For example, one family question that trends is, can I, borrow some money or I'll pay you back? That can create a lot of different offenses, but sometimes it's interesting in who it offends. Sometimes it can offend a husband whose wife may decide to go back and ask her natural mother or father for financial assistance. That husband can take that as an insult that you did not trust me to be the provider and to take care of you. It can also offend the person being asked the question, in terms of maybe validating that the circumstance or situation that you're in that just don't approve. And so, uniquely, by just asking a question, it can create so much offense. So, I want you to talk to us and let us know what you think about that. Should questions not be asked if they will create offense? Now, I want to go out and just put this in the air so that we can just really think about it. I think that no question should not be asked. I think that our society is in a dwindling state simply because there is a suppression to questions being asked. I think if they are not nakedly asked, then how can we know as a society, as a human race, how to interact with one another and how to help engage the minds of our nation? And so this is really critical and important. And I think if at home questions cannot be asked, regardless of the topic, and I know that's controversial depending on which, age group or population is considering this conversation, but I think if questions cannot be asked at home, where can they be asked? And if questions aren't able to be asked, then it leaves room for a unmature mind to begin to explore, different avenues for information and potentially end up while exploring finding bad information that can impact the life and the quality of life in detrimental ways. So this can run a lot of different ways. We know that questions about sex can be offensive depending on the parent. We know that questions about race, can be offensive depending on the parents, or depending on, the child, or depending on the comfortability that has been established and whether or not it is a normalcy for the family unit to conversate, to dialogue about certain things. Now, I'll be honest, when I grew up, certain things from my family structure with my maternal grandmother, you did not ask. What it did was it built a unique curiosity to understand why she was like that and as well for understanding of myself and how to learn. And so it's a very, very big topic because we are living in a time where people are exploring knowledge dangerously. And I think that the family unit should definitely reconsider how we handle questions in the home, especially during the holiday season. Sometimes sensitive topics are brought up, such as things like sexuality. And while we have foundational beliefs, I know myself being one of the faith of Jesus Christ, I think it's important that we consider how we handle those questions to be able to help someone arrive to the proper conclusion. Sometimes the way we respond to questions is just downright offensive and hurtful. And I think that conversation during the holiday season must be had because it is a lot of the reason as to why family forgiveness can't take place. So, to my viewers, I want you to take an opportunity under this conversation and let's do a challenge. I want you to write down some subject matters that you have initiated with family members, whether that is through mother, father, brother, aunt, uncle, cousin, whomever. I want you to write down the names and write down conversations that even under this conversation you are thinking about now that hurt you, that damaged you, or that caused a distance in the relationship. And I want you to make a list. I'm guaranteeing that there's about 10 significant exchanges of where you asked a question or maybe a parent asked you a question and it really created wounds. Sometimes with parentals asking questions, how they ask can breed a sense of mistrust in a child or in an adult child. It really can take a lot of different, tolls on the human mind and soul. And so I want you to write a list of those questions that have created pain for you. And let's do some exploration. Why did it create pain? Was it due to your soul being immature? Was it due to a brokenness that exists in that relationship already? Maybe you expected to be trusted in some areas that you found out you were not. I want you to write these things down and I want you to make a concerted effort to schedule time to be able to sit down with that family member and to be able to talk through that question and to really come to a sound conclusion about the matter because we are needing our family units, our family structures to be able to not just come together for the sake of we came together for the pictorials of what is expected during this time. But we're looking for our family structures to be able to come together in spirit and in truth and truly dwell harmoniously with one another. And if there is an offense that can be mitigated, then Capital City Carolers truly wants to help push and propel that opportunity to take place. So if this conversation has been helpful, if you have questions now that a topic may be fresh on your heart or your mind that you would like to just conversate with somebody about to prepare you to go in to have that moment and opportunity to reconcile, to get that forgiveness flowing out of you, to increase your quality of life, you can always contact us at Capital City Carolers. The website is www.dgminc.org. My name is Shayna Parker. I'm the president, and you are listening to the Christmas Carolers Conversation, where conversation is the gateway this season to helping propel forgiveness. Forgiveness is so needed, and we want hearts to be free. We want minds to be free. We want souls to be free, and we want our human population to be able to engage with one another. We want families restored. We will be caroling in the great city of Tallahassee, Florida, coming up December 17th, and more information about our caroling you can find on our website. So until next time, think about that question. How could you ask? I'll tell you, because answers were needed. And if you take the time to explore, forgiveness can take place. Have a wonderful one, and we'll see you and talk to you again soon.